Hi, everyone. We're here at the Metals Investor Forum in Toronto, and I'm with Rob Macdonald, who is VP Exploration at Southern Silver. Rob, thanks for being with us once again.
Thank you very much, Peter. It's a pleasure to always be here at the Metal Investors Forum and to sit down with you for a good chat.
Thank you. So we're going to dive into Southern Silver and a lot of the happenings over at Southern. Why don't we start with your flagship project, Cerro Las Minas? Tell us about how this is being advanced. It's already really quite substantial and globally significant. Tell us where that's heading these days.
Yes, well, I guess since we last spoke, which was probably about this time last year, we've in midsummer, July of this past year, 2024, we filed the updated preliminary economic assessment of the project, and this took into account a number of deficiencies or a number of things that we felt that we could tighten up and fix up in the 2022 assessment, and it was quite successful. It shows that we're able to model out a 17-year mine life, some excellent revenues. I think for the first 8 years of production, it would produce over $100 million in free cash flow annually, and the NPV comes in at around $501 million. NPV at a 5% discount, around $501 million. Internal rate of return at 21.2. So that's a pretty significant advancement, and this was done at metal prices, fairly conservative metal prices of $23 silver and $18.50 gold, $4 copper, which is pretty good, $1.25 zinc.
Right.
It's about what we're seeing now, and so then I think that gives us a good base to start off with. It certainly underscores the significant value in the project. So there's been a couple of things, a couple of initiatives that we've taken on. We've decided to look and see who might be interested in the project. We are explorers by nature, and so it would be likely that we'd be looking for a partner of some sort, whether it be with financing or technical ability to continue advancing the project to a production decision. And so we put together a team that included the QPs from the PEA to do some forward-looking modeling, and we've done that over the last 4 months. We've completed that, and we have this data available, and we're out doing outreach to producers, potential fundraisers, and whatnot. And we see that this is probably the best way to advance the project. Effectively putting your best foot forward.
Right.
And in this time where, as many are predicting, including yourself, that we should see an upside in precious metal prices, both silver and gold. Not sure about what the base metals are going to do, but silver and gold. We think that this is an advantageous time to do that and look for a transition for the project into the next phase of development. As part of that, we did a small program in the fall. Is just under 2,400 meters, 6 holes, and the idea, it was a bit of a proof of concept program, and 6 holes around the South Skarn deposit. And the idea was to demonstrate that there was still lateral potential and extensions of the mineralization that wasn't captured in the original mineral resource updates, but also to show the depth extension. Because one of the key aspects of the project is that on the west side, we've done a fair bit of drilling, extending mineralization down to over 1 kilometer below surface, and so it's quite extensive, thick zones of mineralization. On the east side, because of when we were drilling it, we were targeting mineralization that could be mined earlier in a given mine plan.
Right.
We only drill down to about 500 meters and sometimes even less.
Right.
So the question becomes, one, what potential is there continued laterally and where you can add there, but also is there potential down at depth? And so, we a little bit of a thumb suck and sort of modeled up a number of these extensions, sort of put some economics on them. And again, it's all internal. Unfortunately, I can't I can't share. Not yet. But I think it really shows that we've only started and on the project, and there is still tremendous upside when you continue further exploration potential, as well as looking at what we believe were conservative metal prices that were the consensus pricing at the time that we produced the original PEA.
Right. Well, it's pretty compelling if you look just at the NPV versus your market cap. Can you refresh us on market cap right now?
The market cap right now at 24 cents, it was just under 70 million Canadian. Okay. I think we're trading a little bit off that today. So you're probably in the 60 to 70 million dollar Canadian market cap. And for a resource that's 36.5 million tons, 302 million ounces, with 1/3 in the indicated category, 2/3 in the inferred category. We feel that's undervalued, and that there remains value to be had for Southern Silver shareholders in that regard as well.
Absolutely. Potential in terms of expansion. You talked about that a little bit in terms of some of the drilling you've done recently. Can you speak to a little bit about beyond that? Just in general terms, maybe.
Yeah. I think the proof of concept drilling demonstrated that you could follow mineralization at the South Skarn deposit down dip, and you had some expansion laterally, as well as we identified some golden-riched zones of mineralization outboard from the main Skarn zone, which forms the bulk of the South Skarn deposit.
Right.
So we've demonstrated that. There's two other deposits on the east side. There's the La Bacona, and there's the North Fell side. And at this point, we're not drilling those right now, but we believe that you could be doing the same thing and continue with proof of concept. Each of these deposits tends to have a higher grade shoot and a thicker shoot of mineralization that seems to be extending to depth. So we've already have a hole in suggesting you could keep following the South Skarn. I suspect if one was to do a same type of drilling at Bacona and North Fell side, that again you'd be able to follow those chutes down to depth and presumably kilometer below or kilometer or deeper on that. I remember when we first took on the project back in 2010, and our exploration manager at the time in Mexico, he was a very experienced geologist, had worked all throughout the country on many different projects, and he had been following Cerro Las Minas for quite a while, but the property package was fragmented and didn't come together until this opportunity. Okay. And, when I was speaking to him, he goes, Rob, it's like Nika. And Nika is a world-class replacement deposit located in Chihuahua. You see the underground photos of the Nika crystals, which are these huge, I think they're gypsum crystals, and that literally dwarf people. And you think that it's a model. You could look it up. Right. But he said, Rob, it's like Nika, and Nika mineralization extends for a kilometer below surface, and these big pipes that extend. And I believe that's still the potential on the eastern side. And so, we have both shallow potential wrapping around further around the Cerro, but also these pipes of mineralization that can extend deeper and deeper, into the earth.
So already pretty compelling. I think you said at a 5% discount, the NPV is about 500 million. If we were to look at this project at spot prices today, Can you give us some idea what that would do to the NPV?
I think I looked at that probably last week, early last week, and actually, I think the gold and silver prices were about the same as they are today, as it's come up and gone down.
Sure.
And it was coming back at spot prices at around $850.
Wow.
US, and that's US dollars.
So we're looking at more, maybe 60% more value just from that versus the current study.
So if somebody was mining it today, they would be pulling in 60% more value.
Right.
The other aspects of that is as your metal prices go up, your cutoff goes down.
I see.
So they could be mining even more mineralization. Right. So not only would you, have more value in what you're mining, but you'd be able to mine more of it than what was modeled.
Amazing. Wow, we've certainly done the rounds. There's some other exciting news at Southern Silver. You recently acquired a project called Nazas in Durango, and I won't steal your thunder. You tell us about that and why it's exciting.
This is a very exciting opportunity for us. This is a project that was a part of a group of claims that Silver Standard initially started exploring in the early 2000s. One of the group of claims became the Pitarrilla deposit. Pitarrilla is one of the larger silver resources in Mexico. I think the total silver equivalency is 800 million ounces silver. There's several components to it. There's a nearer surface bulk mineable system, and there's the deeper sulfide system. Silver Standard has since left the country, and Endeavour Silver is now planning to mine that project and working the project through the development stages. They have identified around 300 million of the 800 million is sulfide resource that they're focused on mining. So this was the Nazas project is only 15 kilometers away from Pitarrilla. It is part of the same package that was originally identified and explored by Silver Standard back in the 2000s and the 2010s. They decided to leave. They handed that back to the vendors, and just recently we had the opportunity to pick up that project. The vendors are La Cuesta International. These are some of the premier mine finders in Mexico. They have the Pitarrilla deposit, the Las Gatos deposit, the San Sebastian deposit, Camino Rojo, San Agustin, are all part of the generative discoveries that they made. They didn't develop them into mines, but they identified the targets and then transitioned them to producing and exploring companies, which then developed them into mining projects. And so we're very excited about this opportunity. We see widespread alteration. There's 5 different targets. Silver Standard has collected several thousand surface samples. There's 20 drill holes in the project. There's targeting, fairly recent targeting from 2016, 2017, which is our starting point in terms of identifying drill targets on. And we're going to continue working through the data, refining our targeting in preparation for probably doing some additional money raising. And by the time we get it permitted, you're probably looking at Q3 2025.
Okay.
All things being equal.
Yeah, it certainly sounds like this has the potential to become a new flagship.
I would hope so. And then then we see, what happens if that becomes an exploration, play and something a little bit separate from the pre-production asset that is currently CLM and Southern Silver. Excellent.
Can you just tell us briefly what's on tap for 2025?
Well, a lot of it is, continuing with the work in building the Cerro Las Minas project into a saleable asset, as well as then building up the targeting on the Nazas project towards looking towards drilling, later this year. As I've said, Q3, depending on permitting, Q3 maybe into Q4 is would be a target that we'd be looking towards. Excellent. At this point, we have have over $4 million in the treasury. We've just completed the financing, and so we have the money that we can keep working through 2025 and what we're doing, and let's see what the markets bring us.
Absolutely. So lots of potentially exciting news flow to look forward to.
I would hope so.
All right. Rob, thank you so much. I appreciate this insight, and we look forward to staying on top of things with Southern Silver. Thanks very much.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Peter.